Welcome back to the podcast. I am so glad you are here. If you haven't already, make sure you follow the show, leave a review, share it with a friend. I would love for you to screenshot it and tag me and add it to your stories so that I can say thank you. That's how we keep growing this community of men and women who want to feel strong, confident, and in control of their day. So today we are talking about micro habits, not a 75-day overhaul or a 12-step plan or a new personality. So I'm going to share with you four tiny levers that were there all along. And these four simple micro choices can create major positive change. So you can't control everything happening out there in the world, but you can control these. So let's start with number one. Number one, what's the first thing you reach for when you wake up? Be honest. Is it your phone? Because that tiny choice sets the tone for everything that follows. What if instead you put out what you want to reach for? Your water, your tennis shoes, your gym bag, your journal, your dog's leash, your Bible, your planner. Set it out before you go to bed. And then when you wake up tomorrow morning, you don't make it a willpower decision. You make it an environment decision. So these little levers, these little anchors, these little tipping points where you take back control of your day. So if you reach for your phone first, you are immediately reacting. If you reach for your water or your shoes or your journal, you are leading. So your brain loves patterns. We talk about patterns and the way that our brain works. If your pattern is wake, grab phone, scroll, rush to work, that becomes automatic. But patterns can be interrupted with one micro shift. So here's the simplest one. All of my clients say they have trouble getting their water in. So put a full glass or a bottle of water on your nightstand tonight. When your alarm goes off tomorrow morning, before you get up and out of bed, think before you scroll, you have to chug your water. And you don't have to sip it, you can chug it. So hydrate your body before you hydrate your brain with all of that information that, let's be honest, we don't really even need. So after 7 to 8 hours of sleep, you're dehydrated. Your cortisol is naturally rising. Your body needs water, not Instagram or Facebook. So that one choice does a few powerful things, right? It wakes up your digestion, it supports your metabolism, it helps regulate hunger later, you get your water in, it gives you a win within 30 seconds of being awake. So, and here's the psychological part. You just led your morning. You didn't react, you acted. So these little levers, these anchors, these tipping points, that's where you take back control of your day. So if you reach for your phone first, you're immediately reacting. If you reach for your water first, you are leading. And that's micro habit number one. Number two, I always say your mood is your choice. Choose if you're going to have a good day or a bad day. And I know, right? That sounds cliche, but when you say it's going to be one of those days, you've already decided. So you're already giving your brain instructions. When you wake up and say, today's going to be steady, today's going to be a good day, you're also giving instructions. You are empowering yourself to choose. Once again, your brain looks for patterns. It loves patterns. So once again, your pattern is wake up, scroll, and then you scroll and then you're comparing yourself, and then you stress, and then you rush, and then you have coffee only, and then you crash. All right, that's not random. That's a loop. That's a pattern. And the best part is loops can be changed, right? So they can be changed. So choose if you're going to have a good day or a bad day. That's your choice. I always say your mood is your choice. Overwhelm is a choice. I talk about that a lot. That's one that just kind of smacked me in the face a couple of years ago. Overwhelm is my choice. So, um, I'm not saying that, you control the traffic or your hormones or your toddlers or your coworkers or the weather, but you do control the first decision. All right. Micro habit number 2, choose your first bite wisely. Before the day gets loud, before someone needs you, before the chaos starts, you can decide ahead of time, my first meal will be protein based. That's it. You don't need a gourmet plan. Of course, if you're a Clubhouse member, you have all the recipes, which we had a huge glow up with our cookbook inside of the Clubhouse. And I'm super excited about it. Everybody is loving it. This week on the plan, we made carrot cake cupcakes. Oh my goodness. So, so good. Perfect for Easter weekend. So, you don't need a gourmet plan, you just need a decision because when your blood sugar is steady, your mood is steadier. When you are fueled, you are less reactive. When you're satisfied, you are less likely to spiral into cravings later. So, what would that look like? Maybe eggs or egg whites or an omelet instead of a pastry, Greek yogurt instead of a muffin, a protein smoothie instead of just coffee, maybe cottage cheese and fruit instead of grabbing whatever's quickest. So it's not about being perfect, it's about choosing stability. You're not choosing a diet. I'm using my air quotations. You're choosing how you want to feel at 10 a.m. Clear or crashing, calm or cranky, focused or foggy. And the first nutrition choice is a vote for your mood. And here's the most powerful part. When you make one intentional food choice early in the day, it builds momentum. You think, I am someone who fuels my body. And then you're more likely to drink the water, to take the walk, to pause before the snack, to go to bed instead of scroll. So it's a micro choice with macro impact, a tiny choice with big impact. Your mood isn't always random. It's often fueled or unfueled. So tomorrow morning, don't just choose to have a good day. Choose the first bite that supports one. So start your day with protein. Take fueling yourself seriously. Ask yourself this, are you running on fuel or fumes? Think about how you feel after you eat a muffin or a bagel or donuts or just a coffee from Dunkin' that you think is fuel. How do you feel 90 minutes later? Do you feel shaky? Do you feel crashy? Do you feel irritated? Do you feel hungry again? Are you looking for more sugar? I always pick on my husband, Ron. Whenever we go out of town for tournaments, I pack everything. And he always wants to stop, whether we need to get gas or I want coffee at Dunkin' or whatever it may be, he wants to get donuts. And I gently remind him, like, how do you feel afterwards? He crashes. He feels like he needs a nap mid-morning after, we have a long day of volleyball or basketball ahead. He's hungry so much faster. He's hungry before it's actually lunchtime. And it's just that one decision. So fortunately, he's doing the Shred plus Train with Kate with me right now. So we are changing those habits. By the way, tomorrow is the last day to sign up for the Shred plus Train with Kate. If you don't sign up now, we will see you in the fall. So we don't have any other shreds scheduled until September or October. That will be in the show notes. So start your day with protein, right? Like we said, regulates your blood sugar, stabilizes your mood. It helps prevent evening cravings. I can't say this enough. If you're not hitting your protein, especially early in the day, you will have some cravings in the afternoon, evening, and after you put the kids to bed. So, of course, the protein, it supports that muscle, keeps you satisfied. So, this is not about being perfect, right? It's about being fueled. So, if you're hungry, I can guarantee you, you are going to argue with somebody, whether you are verbal about it or you are arguing in your head. So, um, if you're hungry, you're going to argue with somebody. All right. What happens when you choose the donut holes instead of the Greek yogurt? Energy dips, mood dips, patience dips. It's not that donut holes are evil and that you shouldn't eat the donut, but it's that they're incomplete. You can even do something simple like adding egg whites to tuna. Take the egg whites and mix them. Boost your protein. Stay full. All right. If you feel like you're running on fumes, are you angry? Are you snapping? Are you yelling at the ref at your kid's volleyball tournament? Are you feeling awful because you just had a bunch of sugar without protein? So, food affects your mood more than you think. Number 4, scroll or sleep. This one might hit. You say, I should just go to bed. So notice that phrase. When you say I should, you're acknowledging that I have a choice, that you have a choice. Then what happens? Maybe you shut down the TV, you hop into bed, you pick up your phone for a minute, 45 minutes, you're wide awake. Half the time you're looking at things that make you feel insecure, you are comparing, maybe you're stressed, maybe somebody annoys you, or fired up about some random argument on Facebook or Instagram. Maybe you're scrolling through the comments, getting fired up. You don't even join the argument most of the time, right? But now you're mad at strangers, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's a family member, but a lot of times you're mad at strangers and it's not relaxing. Your nervous system is on high alert. And they've even done a study done in Boston, showing that reading on your phone before bed delays your internal body clock and suppresses melatonin. So, melatonin is that hormone that helps your brain shift into sleep. Your bed should train you to sleep. Your bed should train your brain to sleep, not scroll. So, if you scroll every night in your bed, your brain learns bed equals stimulation. You don't want your bed to equal stimulation. You want to get into bed. You've had a long day. You want to go to sleep. So then you want to get up and get that workout in. So before you tuck yourself in, tuck your phone in. Okay. Before you tuck yourself in that bed, tuck your phone in. 30 minutes before you plan to sleep. Choose to sleep instead of choose to scroll. Because it's not just losing an hour, it's you feel like waking up tomorrow already behind. And then what happens? You wake up tired. You skip your workout. You skip the protein. You crave sugar. You snap. You scroll. And the loop starts over again. The loop starts over again. So these 4 micro habits control the loop. Number 1, what you reach for first. Number 2, deciding the mood and the tone for your day. Number 3, starting with protein. Fuel, not fumes. 4, choosing sleep over scroll. They were there all along. They were there all along. Tiny levers, tiny anchors, tiny tipping points, micro habits. You don't need a massive overhaul of your life. You need micro control. Set out what you're going to reach for tomorrow morning. Put your phone to bed early tonight. Tuck it in. Tuck in your phone. Choose protein in the morning and choose your tone and your mood. 4 simple micro choices. Major positive changes. I know you can't control everything happening out there, and I know a lot of people are wrapped up in it all, but you can control these. And when you do, you take back your day. You take back control. You take back control of your day. If this episode hit, share it with a friend, screenshot it, put it on your stories, tag me. I want to thank you. Maybe you needed to send it to your best friend who needs to stop running on fumes. Inside the shred, which closes tomorrow, we build structure around all of these. We practice these reps together so that you can lose weight to reveal the fine muscles. You're closer than you think. These habits were there all along. Now go set out what you're reaching for tomorrow morning. And remember, you're always doing better than you think you are. Have a great day.